I was the chairman of the ASEAN Autism Network. So from my family to our community to the nation, the Philippines, and then to the ASEAN level.
Hello everyone, welcome to the ASEAN podcast on the ASEAN Prize series. I am Mai Tang from the ASEAN Secretariat, and together we will discover the inspiring journey of the ASEAN Prize recipients, their life stories, and how their work makes a difference to other people's lives. In this episode, we will have the honor to speak with the inaugural ASEAN Prize recipient, Ms. Erlinda Uy Koe, who is also known as Madam Dang from the Philippines. Madam Dang is a dedicated community leader and advocate for families living with autism spectrum disorder. In 2018, she was awarded with the inaugural ASEAN Prize in recognition of her effort to build an inclusive ASEAN community. Madam Dang is here with us today. Ma'am, could you please share with us how did you start your advocacy work in supporting families living with autism? What inspired you?
Very simple, because my firstborn, Gio, was diagnosed with autism before he turned 3 years old. So as a mother, you had to do something aside from just taking care and making sure that he's got the right interventions. Eventually, we know that it takes a village to raise a child with autism. So it cannot just be us, the family, dealing with my son. No, it has to be the entire community, the entire society, the entire world.
Can you please tell us a little bit more how it leads? Of course, it's about the love for your son and the care you have for your son, and how it starts from something very personal into something basically regional that has the impact to the whole region.
Okay. So as a parent, when Gio was diagnosed, I had to look for a support group, no, a family support group, and I found that with Autism Society Philippines. So Autism Society Philippines envisions a community that accepts, accommodates, and appreciates people with autism. So I started there. At first, I was just like a volunteer helping, and then they managed to make me the national president for 3 terms. And then after that, I was made into the honorary chair emeritus, no? Or chair emerita, as they say in feminine form. Now, during that time, the ASEAN Autism Network was starting in around 2010. No? And then the Philippines is one of the co-founding members. No? And the ASEAN Autism Network is a platform for best practices, for sharing among member countries like the Autism Society Philippines, where we can exchange practices like what we're doing now. And so I forgot now, in 2016 to 17, I was the chairman of the ASEAN Autism Network. So from my family to our community to the nation, the Philippines, and then to the ASEAN level, the ASEAN region.
Thank you, ma'am. In fact, we are very happy that the work is, of course, for your dear son, and it has improved the lives of so many children, families living with autism. Ma'am, the next question we have is that what have you been doing to raise people's awareness on the need for an inclusive community, especially on the rise of people with autism spectrum?
Okay. The work, of course, never stop after you get an ASEAN Prize. No? So in the Philippines, what we're very proud of right now, and we hope that we are also inspiring the other members of the ASEAN Autism Network, is how we were able to transition from the traditional interventions to online because of the ongoing pandemic. No? So even if we're all quarantined in our homes, we continue to do different programs. No? In the Philippines, okay, we have the home empowerment where we equip the parents to take care of their children at home because, well, especially now, not everyone can get therapies anymore from professionals, although some of them can still get online. No? Because of the situations, another program, the Play Day, became more popular, and the reach is even bigger now because this is a fun activity for those who are already out of school. No? And before the pandemic, there were just about less than 20 participating every week because they have to go to the national headquarters of the Autism Society Philippines. Now they can join, no? So whether they're in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And another program that we're very proud of, which is still continues, the Autism Works, no? Where ASP serves as bridge between families of those who are ready for work, those on the spectrum who are ready for work, and companies who are willing to accommodate them. And also, even with the pandemic, we continued with one of our biggest events, the Angels Walk for Autism. Before, we used to gather 24,000 people in the Mall of Asia Arena. Now, the last time this January up to April, we did it online. So everything. Now, at the ASEAN level, right now, there is an ongoing training program for parents on how to, which is like what we're doing in Play Day, more of physical activities now that they're just staying at home. So I think it will end this week. No, so that's in cooperation with the Japanese International Foundation, the JICA, and of course the Asia Pacific Development Center on Disabilities. So the programs are continuing, even if we're all just online now.
Thank you, ma'am. It's truly inspiring to hear that even though, despite all the challenges posed by the pandemic, but your efforts still continue so that families living with autism still continue to have the support. Could you please also share with us a little bit more about the challenges or how the pandemic impact the daily life of people with autism spectrum?
Well, of course, at first, it's for some children. Luckily for some of us, there wasn't much adjustment. But for some on the spectrum, their routines change overnight. And that's difficult for some of them. They used to go out. They used to be... they used to go to schools or to centers, no? So I can imagine. I can imagine some families really having a difficult time because all you have now is your child in a cramped home, no? And you have to really think of what to do, how to make your child adjust to the new situation. No? But well, I don't know. As for our observation, it seems that a lot of them are coping very well. No, maybe because we also keep them busy, like the program I mentioned a while ago. No, so they look forward to it every Saturday. So, of course, there's also the economic factor. For most families, their income were affected. And so providing basic needs would became a priority, no? So if the we call the typical families are already having a difficult time with the pandemic, you can just imagine for some of our families. No, but we'd like to look at everything from a positive point of view, no? From an optimistic point of view. Although there are challenges, we also felt that there were gains from this pandemic. No, people people had to adjust to be uh, social media savvy. Now, if I'm pretty sure if we introduce programs before online, people will not immediately accept because they're used to the traditional face-to-face activities. But now, as far as the society is concerned, it's even more economical. Before, we have to find sponsors to bring in our chapter leaders, no? Or even in the ASEAN Autism Network. Before, they have to find sponsors to bring us together in one venue. But now, there can be more participants because where everyone is online, you don't have to spend for their plane fares and hotels. So we prefer to look at the current situation as having more gains. No, it's true there are challenges, but we think that the Asian people are resilient. Huh? We can adjust, and we are creative enough to find ways and means.
Thank you. Indeed, that is a silver lining of the pandemic. And I think the positivity that you have and the positivity that you share with other people actually really makes a difference. Ma'am, so you received the ASEAN Prize in 2018.
Yeah.
Could you please share with us what has happened then to your life, to your work, since winning the prize?
Yeah, my friends were kidding me that maybe everyone on the street will recognize me because after the recognition, there were media guestings on TV, etc. But after that, for me, it's the Asian Prize is an a blessing, an additional advantage for us to approach partners. Because of course you'll say, "Oh, I'm an Action Prize recipient," so it's easier for us to tap new partners. But as a whole, uh, although I'm so grateful for the honor, no, but as a whole, life continues. We continue with our advocacy. Like I said, we never thought that we will get. I always say we because I don't think it was just me. I think it's our team in the Asian Autism Network, our team in Autism Society Philippines that worked hard to get this prize. We didn't have this in our mind. We never imagined it. No, we were just doing what we think we should be doing for our children. And so, like I said, it's a blessing, but we continue to move on and do what we have to do for the community.
Thank you. So you have shared with us on the efforts that you have been doing for the community, which are truly grassroots.
Yeah.
Those are the efforts that you have made. Do you have any other further plans that you could share with us? Because a lot of people actually look up to you for inspiration because of what you have contributed. Any other plans that you could share with us at the moment?
Well, of course, as far as the ASEAN Autism Network and the Autism Society Philippines are concerned, we will continue with our programs, which is more geared towards adults, no? Like employment. I have a personal dream, okay, and I hope I can still do this in my lifetime. My son, and I think 50% of the population would be like him, who would need supervision. I a dream of a adult home, no? Which is not there's I think you can count, no? Maybe less than 10, especially homes that cater to adults with autism. Now, that's a personal dream of mine, maybe because my son belongs to that, and the spectrum belongs to that end. No, this is going to be challenging because the program should outlive us as parents. No? So we had to come up with a system, a mechanism that can keep it alive even after we're gone.
I really hope that your dream will be materialized so that more and more people can benefit from it. Now, before we wrap up, could you please share with us any messages that you have for the youth of ASEAN that you can share towards an inclusive ASEAN community?
Yes, I am very grateful that the ASEAN Secretariat itself has helped us elevate the awareness when it comes to persons with special needs, like those of our children on the autism spectrum. And I am also very happy that whenever the youth sector will interview me, I would realize that more and more of our youth are now involved. No? They're now involved in inclusion. They're now involved in different advocacies, which I am so happy and so blessed to realize that at this lifetime we can be at that level, because you can imagine when we started the advocacy more than 30 years ago, no, people were making fun of them, mocking them. They become jokes, no. But right now, I'm so happy that a lot of them are more conscious, if not politically correct, and they are more willing to join the advocacy. And so, I'd always like to invite not just the family members. I'm sorry, not just the families who are affected by autism, but I'd like to join everyone for an inclusive ASEAN community. No? We love the logo of the ASEAN. One community, one vision, and again, no, on behalf of the ASEAN Autism Network and the Autism Society Philippines, we thank your support in ASEAN. Thank you so much for recognizing our advocacy for people on the autism spectrum and those with special need. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. That wraps up our conversation today. Once again, thank you so much. That was a very insightful and inspiring discussion with Ms. Erlinda Uy Koe, the ASEAN Prize 2018 recipient. I hope you all feel inspired, and thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe to the ASEAN podcast and stay tuned for our updates on the ASEAN Prize.